Number one Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Rank at Invictus, wherein we rank Meghan's all-time Invictus looks over the past 5 years from best to worst. This is the last video of this 3-video series, so we are talking about the worst of the worst, the bottom of the barrel. I wish I knew German and had a Dusseldorf appropriate expression for Meghan. Dreck am Stecken, perhaps? These are so bad, I kinda need a glass of Piñarello. Look, 19 out of 26. I've roasted this one already in my Meghan engagement looks rank video. I know a lot of people would rank this a lot higher simply because it is the only time Meghan has ever worn Invictus gear. She did it as dirty as she could with this terrible fake trench coat, the ugly, too long for her jeans, and cutting up the playing field and track heels. I could rag on this coat some more. I already said the color is flattering to no one. The only reason Beretta and Barber, Macintosh, obviously, Hogs, etc. make this color is for activities like stalking, farm work, watching the races, so you blend in with forest and field. The goal of this color is not to flatter people, it's to not startle animals. This color has no place in a purely fashion garment, and that's what this pseudo trench is. Again, as I've already said, it's hard for me to even think up a design more useless than a trench coat with no buttons, no belt, no lining. But also, I personally think it takes a special degree of sort of ignorance or lunacy to wear a really bad trench in Britain. Would you carry a fake Birkin in Paris? Would you wear faux fur in Russia? Half the people she walked by must have just At the time, she was still a working royal. I feel it was her civic duty to walk into Aquascutum or Burberry and buy the real thing. And if you insist on giving me fashion trench, give me fashion, okay? I'm envisioning Naomi Campbell at the Platinum Jubilee. I'm thinking Farida Seydoux and Catherine Deneuve at Gautier. But here we are. Also, a few commenters have pointed out that not only should Meghan be wearing Invictus merch, she should be involved in making Invictus merch. I could not agree more. Athleisure has been super stylish for years now. They should be getting a big name athletic wear sponsor like Adidas, Fila, Champion, Nike, pulling in a popular streetwear designer to make a mini collection of affordable merchandise and getting streetwear influencers to promote it on Instagram, TikTok, etc. I bet a lot of big influencers who normally make tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars per post would promo the merch for free simply because it was for a good cause, and or they would get some photos with Harry and Meg, and selling the merch could help fund the games in the future. They could pull in a new designer for each new games, and I bet for the very first year they could even find a really big name to do it for almost free out of the goodness of their heart. I bet if Puma did this thing, Rihanna would stick her name on 4 or 5 pieces of merch just to get things up and running. Yeah, Invictus merch could be a real game changer. Too bad Meg is so interested in putting on her own fashion show she can't see that. Look number 20. Obviously, she looks like a spilt latte. In terms of fit, the trousers are slightly too long, definitely too tight in the thigh. They also look to be sitting a little low, which could be a good thing for her actually, but not with this top. The styling, coat as cape, is very old Hollywood drama. I think when it looks good, it can look really, really good. And when it looks bad, it's pretty hard to look at. I was horrified to learn that this has apparently been a trend for several years now with its own name, shrobing. In my sheltered universe, this is just what old ladies did, so the chain strap on their shoulder bag didn't rip into the shoulder of their fur or vicuña coat. Does it also set off your trying way too hard alarm? I guess it's not that big a deal. If styling your coat this way makes you feel a little more chic and a little less bored of wearing something you own, sure, why not? As for Megan, I can't help but notice that she picks up every single snobby sorority girl styling conceit because she's hashtag too rich to care. For example, the popped collars, the coat over the shoulders, or the latest wearing all of her jewelry with either the stones or the face of the watch facing inwards towards her. Bitch, could you stop with the false modesty and fake spontaneity for a single day in your life? You have a weather and calendar app on your phone like everybody else. You could have worn appropriate outerwear. You could have used the coat check. You could have left the expensive jewelry you're pretending to be afraid of scratching at home. That said, I would actually love to see more people wear old-fashioned sports capes, as they used to be called. This is Coco Chanel. In 1922, you can see that capes used to be designed with straps to keep them on your body. The colors. Camel is one of the toughest colors to work with. You truly cannot mix and match camel pieces from different designers 90% of the time, and that's what she's attempted to do here. If you want to get that long, lean, monochrome look in camel, it's got to be the same designer at minimum, probably the same collection for the fabrics to truly match. It's true that there are designer fabric fairs and factories that the high-end houses go to where many of them end up buying the same fabric, especially if they're owned by the same conglomerate. So you may very well be carrying around a Marni coat in a Jill Sander boutique and find a pair of trousers that matches perfectly, but it's really like winning the lottery. It's not at all something you can count on. Part of the reason perfectly matching camel hairs and cashmeres exude luxury is that they must be purchased at the same time. You need to make that initial outlay either at a tailor or a boutique. You can't achieve the look piecemeal. When I look at this, I actually think less about the mental gymnastics Meghan had to go through putting this on to convince herself that these camels coordinated or matched and flowed and gave good silhouette. Rather, I'm thinking about the hours and days and weeks her personal assistant had to order and return and reorder and return and reorder and return items to get camels from different designers online, even approaching matching. Probably the only authentic element of Meghan's class LARPing is her total spiritual and creative exploitation of underlings. So I guess it's time to talk about stealth wealth, really overlapping with Meghan's time in the royal family and now outside of the royal family the past 5 or 6 years or so. There has been this Instagram influencer trend that is only now subsiding of whispering wealth and old money emblems, which I frankly consider a disease of reductive fashion philosophy. And Meghan exhibits all the symptoms. If you think old money is a greige cashmere wardrobe, yellow gold entry-level jewelry from Cartier and Van Cleef, and a Birkin bag, that just tells me you've never been around it. Old money style is as varied and wacky and good and bad as style in any other class. The world is a wide place. To me, it's like Meghan is stuck in this 2005 Carlene spread called Gold Card. It's like she doesn't recognize that even the classiest neutrals, when store fresh, untailored, or badly tailored, rumpled from wear, and buried under stacks of gold jewelry, no longer have the same effect. And whereas this Carlene spread is a fun and frivolous Y2K send up of new money, every single one of Meghan's looks is a dead serious manipulation. She wants everyone to subconsciously associate her with Diana, subconsciously associate her with fellow American Princess Grace Kelly. subconsciously associate her with the original supermodels, etc. She doesn't know she's so transparent, no one is subconsciously associating her with anything. If you've been lying to yourself about camels that don't quite match and you need to or want to continue to wear them, my advice is break them up with coordinating colors. This outfit would have looked much better with an ice blue silk satin blouse or a lavender oversized wool sweater, assuming it's cold enough to actually be wearing all this, or navy trousers and a silk scarf around the neck, incorporating navy at least for interest. Look 21. Meg Bob's square shorts rides again. I swear this video took me an extra day because I saw this, turned my computer off and walked away. Have you ever heard of iceberg videos? This is a YouTube video format where a single image is supposed to represent all knowledge about a huge subject like ancient Rome, and all of that knowledge, as represented by the image, is then organized by the presenter into tiers, usually from what most people know to completely fringe conspiracy theories. Because the tip of an iceberg is the part you can see from a ship, but there's so much under the water. That's how I feel when I look at this outfit. It's superficially simple, but so deeply hopeless and worthless. Okay, I'm going to attempt it. Let's just start with fit. Yes, the shorts are too short. You're a 40-something-year-old mom being seen by hundreds of thousands of people. Stop. Now, silhouette. She's really gone all in with dressy shorts, and that is
choices.
the Pepto-Bismol suit. Yes, she looked like she wore it on a 19-hour flight, then slept in it at the hotel for a further 6 hours, then went to the basketball game where she swerved her husband because he got drunk at the hotel bar while she was sleeping. But at least that was funny. The Zara jumpsuit with Chloe jacket was horrifying for everything it represented. But as she sort of drunkenly stumbled and shuffled along, I held out hope that she was going to break out into a risky business dance. This one is just no entertainment value. This sweater says,
"Won't you please, won't you please, please won't you be my neighbor?"
the colors. Yes, it is possible to clash neutrals. These shoes can go with the sweater or the shorts, but not both. The sweater and the shorts clash. They clash because they're not a tone and a tint of the same hue. They are different hues. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to link in a pinned comment below an excellent 1 hour, 20-minute color course that's divided up into 20 individual videos that are each 7 minutes or less and free on YouTube, obviously. If you've always been intimidated by the concept of undertones, had trouble understanding how it's possible for items that are the same color to clash with each other, or felt confused and gate-kept by people saying stuff like, "She's a true autumn, not a classic autumn," spending an hour and 20 minutes of your life watching these color course videos will be immensely useful to you. It's not fashion focused. It's the most succinct academic explanation of color theory I've come across, so it will help you not only dress better, but understand art better, and you can learn how to speak properly about color. Back to Meghan. What would have solved this silhouette problem and color problem in one fell swoop is just wearing a different top. The obvious choice is a boxy boat neck black sweater. She could even do her little half tuck if she wanted to make sure we all saw her very expensive Givenchy logo belt. Possibly the most maddening thing about this Meg Bob square shorts outfit is its price tag. To look like this, you need $44,821. Look 22. Well, we're into the final 5 and it's showing. I call this look the cross-dressing cricketer. In my worldview, that is not a top. That is a sweater vest. Moreover, it's a sweater vest worn by men over collared shirts. I was genuinely rocked to my core when I went to the Ralph Lauren website and saw this styling. It's even worse in the lemon yellow. White jeans, a puka shell necklace, no shirt underneath. This is giving West Palm Beach fuckboy 1998, not sophisticated woman. Ryan Lochte wore it better. What are you doing, Ralph Lauren merchandisers?
Choices.
The sweater she's carrying. When you layer knits, you layer thicker, heavier knits over thinner knits. You should never wear the sweater she's carrying over the sweater vest she's wearing. And indeed, this outfit would have looked better if she had just worn that sweater she's carrying in the first place. Black suede shoes with white jeans and a white cotton top. Again, it's just that clash of textures and colors. The seasonality is off, and Meghan doesn't seem to fully grasp that. If she were wearing that black and white striped mariner sweater instead of this white cable knit sweater vest as a top, she would have at least had something black in her clothes for those shoes to tie back to. This is bad. And again, even though it all looks so cheap and casual, even without her Cartier and her pinky ring, it's still a $4,600 outfit. Look 23, certifiable Diana cosplay. That bodysuit is dated and dumpy. The fabric looks cheap and it makes her look flat-chested and thick-waisted. The trousers are way too tight on her. They're wrinkled and pulling all across the hips and rear and thighs. And the fabric has a reflective quality that really highlights that terrible fit. I found one single good thing about this outfit. Her trousers break in the correct place for possibly the first time I've ever seen on Meghan. The shoes make no sense in this context. Those Swiss dot Manolos are intended to be worn obviously with a summer skirt. She broke out the MBS gifted emerald cut diamond studs that match the pinky ring and treated herself to a new Juste un Clou diamond necklace. Also, I can't identify the ring she's wearing. So this outfit costs over $154,765. How many people in the Invictus audience do you think even make $155,000 a year? I often find myself pondering, is she simply tone deaf? Is she willfully ignorant, passive aggressively domineering? Or does she not even consider the Invictus participants and workers as people? Are they just props in photos and video to worship her as she projects an image for people she actually does value? The royal family, Hollywood movers and shakers. Outfits like this just make it so clear she wasn't thinking about Invictus people at all. 24, her PJ outfit. Several tabloids treated us to these fake paparazzi shots of her boarding a private jet that are patently ridiculous. Obviously, for safety reasons, tarmacs are highly controlled areas. There is zero possibility any photographer would ever be there unless they were hired by and riding with the passenger. Her overacting in these shots. Before she saw them, she was so happy, riding to meet the love of her life. And then when she noticed the evil paparazzo, she got really scared. So of course the first thing she did was point out the intrusive photographer to her assistant and security guard. It's embarrassing. The only people who think this is cool and impressive are 25-year-old Instagram influencers, wealthy business people, and celebrities who also use private jets. Just look at this and think, what a loser. I suppose to add to the authenticity, Meghan wore this terrible outfit. Again, we have the clashing neutrals issue. Those navies don't work together, not even close. I don't think this is even worth breaking down as an outfit. It looks like things she threw on because they were baggy enough for her to sleep in them on the plane. If that's the case, you're in a private jet, just wear pajamas. And sorry to be this person, but where are her kids? Does she think they're too young to be at Invictus? Does she think she will be too busy working to care for them at Invictus? It's really a family event. She made such a big deal about being late because she had to get milkshakes for them or something. Where are they? That story would only make sense if they were en route with you. If they were just staying at home with the nannies anyway, the nanny can get the milkshakes and you can be on time. Likewise, there was a little PR story about how this year Meghan's not bringing her makeup artist and hairdresser to Invictus. She's doing it all by herself. Well, bitch, if you're not bringing them, why are you on a private jet? The only way people can begin to rationalize private jet usage is if you're traveling with a team of 10 other people. If it's just you, a first class ticket, a face mask, and a sleeping pill should have done. Maybe no one found your "I'm late because the kitty winkles wanted milkshakes" story endearing because they can't afford private jets and they very well might not be able to afford babysitters either. I think half the reason Meghan left the royals is just because they wouldn't let her flex on the pores. You know what would be a good Halloween outfit this year? Meghan Markle and her beloved paparazzi. You can expand it for a whole family. Someone can be Harry, someone can be the New York City taxi driver, Doria, the mayor of New York, a police officer, Gloria Steinem, less the Cartier love bracelet and tank watch. This look costs an astounding $5,700. Look 25, the bittersweet symphony of caca. I recently watched a fashion critique video where the presenter didn't even really talk about fashion. She just said messy and wrinkles over and over again in a Cookie Monster voice, and I was dying because what else is there to say about this? This outfit is sort of beneath contempt. My theory on Meghan's always trying this style of trouser is that she associates it with old Hollywood. Grace Kelly obviously is who I think she was imitating in this specific outfit, but those women were so meticulous, and when they weren't, their costume designers and dressers and directors and studio heads were. There was not ever a hair out of place with them. Meghan's just a mess from top to bottom. One really simple thing she needs to wrap her head around is that there are sitting clothes and there are standing clothes. If you're going to be sitting all day, you don't wear things like linen because this kind of intense wrinkling always happens and it obviously doesn't photograph well. The shirt isn't right for her. The buttons are just in the wrong place. The shoulder seams are also in the wrong place. It looks like she bought it too big and then tucked it in too much towards the back and not enough on the front or sides. Really wacky tucking game here. These Gabriella Hearst trousers, beyond being the wrong fabric, the belt needs to be shortened and they're just dragging along instead of hemming her trousers where they're supposed to be hemmed. Meghan seems to imitate how the trousers are shown online on the website Fit Models. Some websites are better than others. For example, if you look at the Gabriella Hearst trousers on Matches, yes, there are some pairs that are definitely too long, but it does look like they've at least attempted to use a fit model who is tall enough to model the trousers breaking in close to the correct place. Neiman Marcus, on the other hand, is a total mess. Some of these fit models are clearly way too short to be showing these trousers, but they're using them anyway. I suppose Meghan looks at pictures like this and thinks anything goes, when she'd do well to go back to those pictures of movie stars and to look at where their trousers break. If you also want to leave the house looking like a crumpled up and thrown away Twix bar wrapper, this outfit is worth $103,790. The last outfit, the worst thing Meghan has ever worn to the Invictus Games, in my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Look 26. The 2969 one-star reviewed waterproof vinyl tablecloth for kitchen and dining room on Walmart.com. Have you received an invitation to a cocktail party in your mind where the other guests will be wearing gym shorts and sweatpants? And you know you'll have to seal clap next to your husband who can't dance and hold a beer at the same time? This is oil-proof and wipeable. That's literally what this is. This is a plasticized polyester tube dress I hope she was paid to wear this because I can't even guess what she was going for. Stepford wife at a fetish club? Were they going somewhere kinky afterwards? We know Rita and Taika like to swing. Check them out. They're having a good time. You think Frau Steinmeier is down to clown? As if this dress couldn't be more embarrassing, look what the presenter was wearing for the closing ceremonies. That must have been so humiliating for Meghan to arrive at the closing events thinking she was overdressed, she was serving, and then to have the presenter come out looking like the winner in a Who Wore It Better article. So, what do you think Meghan's kink is? Do you think Harry licks a bunch of melted ice cream off this dress while she shoots herself up with Ozempic and cries? Do you think she pours vodka sours down her body while Harry kneels on all fours like a dog beneath her, trying to lap up the rivulets streaming off her dress? Or do you think she just needed something that could be hosed down after all those dirty commoners hugged her? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think Meghan's most offensive Invictus outfit of all time was? Let me know in the comments. Toodles. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.